In this video, I am going to show you how to remove the transfer belt from the Toshiba eStudio4540, any 40 series machine. This will be the same as the 4520 family. First thing you want to do is remove the transfer belt cleaning blade. You'll do that by opening the front door, removing the screw on the left-hand side, rotating this into the up position, then over here is the chute for the toner. One screw. Some of the 4520 series, it does not have this screw. Little squeeze, this will pop out, and you can see the blue handle for the cleaning blade. I like to pull out the yellow unit. You do not have to do this. Now you move this almost all the way closed, rotate it. This is going to be the tricky part. Slide it out. Sometimes that will stick a little bit. Be careful when pulling that out. Now you'll move to the left side of the machine. First thing we need to do is put the duplex door into the service position. You'll do that by opening it up. If you look straight down, there's a screw down here on this shaft. Remove that screw. And now this is a special screw that only fits into this spot. Want to make sure that you remember which one that is. Now you'll slightly close the unit, slide it towards the rear. You'll see a couple of shoulder screws and a place in here where those shoulder screws slip in. Will hold this in the service position. Now you open the door with the number 1. And while looking inside, you will see a connector right here. It's the only connector there. Gently pull on the wires. At this point, you do want to lift up that blue handle and slide this whole unit straight out. Now to reinstall it, you do the exact opposite. One thing I'd like to point out is on the rear here, there is a little pin. The cleaning blade needs to go onto that pin, and I'll show you that in a second. Slide the unit back in. And one thing I want to point out, when you have it out, this might pop as it just did into the up position. If it's not sliding in, just slide that down. And then connect this connector back up. Close this door. Put the finger up, out, and you'll put it back onto the shafts. Replace that screw, and you're all set on this step. I'd like to show you how the cleaning blade hooks onto the transfer belt assembly. You would not be doing this normally, but because it's hard to see inside the machine, I like to show it outside the machine. Basically, you'll be sliding the cleaning blade back in. You have on the rear end this little hole, which will go onto that little nub right here. And on the front end, where the handle is, we've got a little nub, and that goes into this black semicircle. Basically, you will slide this in carefully, and the way I do it, I look through the hole where the yellow developing unit is, shine a flashlight back, and you're aiming to get that little nub onto that hole. Once it's in place, the front one pops on, and then you're able to click it closed. As I said, this will happen inside the machine. At this point, I have the transfer belt back in place. The blue handle is unlocked and towards the down position. Yellow developing unit out, and now we're ready to put the transfer belt cleaning blade back in place. Now, the way that I do this is, as I said, I shine the flashlight up, slide it in. At this point, I'm looking towards the back, trying to aim that little hole. And then once I have that, usually it pops right in, but this is a very tricky part. And you saw that, how that clicked. That is back in place. You can confirm that that is in place. When it moves, you see how it came up and slightly turned. Now you'll put the yellow developing unit back in, lock the handle down in place, and you're all set with replacing the transfer belt.